Monkeys. My speech today is about monkeys. What are monkeys? Monkeys are those little tasks that come by in your life. They seem to crawl on your back somehow. And then you carry them around until you're done with that task. You give monkeys a lot of work. A coworker might say, hey, can you come help me with this problem? You guys discuss it for a while. You say, yeah, I'll get you some more information on that. And now their problem has become your problem. Simply by saying, yeah, I'll help you out with that. I'll get you some more information. That person is now waiting for you to make the next step. That person has effectively handed their monkey that was on their back, and now it's on your back. And that monkey's going to stay on your back until you figure out a way to get that monkey off of your back. So let's talk about this. How does this work? 4 steps we need to discuss. First step, what are we talking about? What are these monkeys and how do we identify them and where do they come from? What do we do? We need to learn about the monkeys. Someone comes to you and says they have a problem. Okay, what's your problem? Maybe this is a legitimate monkey that needs to be dealt with. Maybe it's not. Maybe the monkey should be shot. Preferably, monkeys that shouldn't exist in the first place. I have this problem. Let's discuss it. You know, it's not really a problem. It's not a big deal. Shoot the monkey. Doesn't exist. Move on. If the monkey does exist, we need to determine, is it a problem that's your problem? Or is it a problem that the person came to you should resolve? Lots of times people come to you with problems that are their problem. Now, it's great to give advice. If you have some more expertise in a particular subject matter, it's great to help people out. But draw a line somewhere. You shouldn't necessarily take on their monkey. You can say, well, I give you this advice, that advice, why don't you try this? And hey, if you want to come back and let me know how it's going, that'd be great. As opposed to, I'll get you more information on that. So the next step is determining what needs to be done and whose responsibility it is. Step number 2. Okay, let's make an action plan. You're going to get more information and I'll help you determine if that's good information. Or, why don't you try this and get back to me? Those are action plans. Along with every action plan, one needs to determine who's going to carry out this action. How many people have been to a meeting where a lot of things get discussed and no action plan gets met and you walk out of the meeting going, am I supposed to do something? Show of hands. I've been there. Are those meetings very successful? Do you accomplish something that really moves that project forward? Sometimes, because everybody gains some general understanding. But unless you come up with an action plan that includes specific things that will be done and who's going to do them, you haven't really accomplished what the meeting's there for. So the number 2 item is to determine what needs to get done, who's going to do them, preferably also by when. Okay, 3rd action item. Risk. If this is a project or a problem, there's usually a risk associated with it. The risk could be that the project's not going to come out well. New product development, the product's not going to work well in the market. The project could be cost sensitive. There could be cost implications. Risk. How are we going to handle risk? 2 ways to handle risk. The first is recommend before action. Meaning, you know, John, why don't you come to me with what you think is the best idea? Then we'll discuss it and we'll determine if that's the right course of action. Bam. Johnson come back to me with a recommendation before he acts. This gives us a chance to discuss it a little bit. Our discussion will hopefully minimize that risk. Now maybe John and I have been working on this project for a while, or we've been working in the same company for a while. He comes to me with a problem. I know he's good. I know he can handle this. This is a really small problem. It's not very risky. Or John's really just that great that I have that much confidence in him. Second option is go ahead and act. Let me know how it's going. Act, then advise. That's the second option. Notice there's the and advise on that. So John's not entirely just going off on this tangent. He's still going to come back to me at some point in time. So there's still a sense of risk abatement there because we're going to keep in touch on this. but I have that confidence that he can go ahead and act and then advise. Okay, so we've covered number 1, learning about the problem and issue, determining if it really exists. We've covered number 2, the action plan. We've covered number 3, managing the risk. The 4th item is follow-up. Any project needs to have some sort of follow-up. Just like with my health, I go to the doctor once a year just to make sure I'm healthy and fit, even though I seem to be that way. It's good to do that regularly. And John might be doing well on his project, but let's determine, hey John, why don't you go ahead and work on that, but come back and advise me, and if I don't hear from you, let's at least talk next week. Or let's set a time now, Wednesday at 10 o'clock of next week. At the latest, if we haven't talked, let's sit down by then. Follow up. So that if things do go awry, and John gets really busy or I get really busy, we've at least set a time for us to follow up on that item. The problem with so many projects that don't have follow-up, or those meetings where you walk out and nobody really knows what they're going to do next, is that nothing happens, or that monkey might get kind of sick. That project might not go so well. If we wait too long to follow up on that project, that monkey might need a little resuscitation. Who's good at resuscitating monkeys in this room? Yeah, I'm not either. Sometimes things get so far along that it's almost impossible to bring it back. So you have to follow it up. So now, we've got 4 major steps. With those 4 steps, anybody who comes to you with a problem or project, basically a monkey on their back, that they want to get off of their back and onto yours, we know how to take care of it. So just remember, identify the problem, create an action plan, manage the risk, and follow up. And we'll take care of those monkeys on your back. Thanks.